Our clients, who are mainly Chinese companies, and they are facing many challenges around the training and development of their buyers. They want to bring their organizations to a kind of a best-in-class level, same as the Western companies or the Western competitors in the different kind of industry or the different fields they are. And they're also facing a lot of challenges on some of their daily tasks around communication, understanding of different cultures, and some of the softer aspects of being a buyer or being a procurement professional, where you have to interact with various parts of the world and the cultural differences. So I would say, in summary, there are challenges in the organization of their business, in their development of their people, but also kind of in the daily operations in that area.
Okay.
Yeah, HR and retaining talent is it's a big challenge, and hence where the development comes into place. There's a scarcity of procurement professionals in China, and there's a lot of there are a lot of battles and fights for talent, for procurement talent. So my clients have to develop retention programs. They have to restructure the reward and benefits programs and remuneration packages to make sure people stay in the company. But also they have a challenge in making the jobs they offer to the people interesting, challenging, and with a view of career progression.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, what about in terms of corporate's social responsibility, like especially things that are being brought up in the media in terms of child labour or the environment, that
Sure.
sort of thing. How have you found that in China?
I think personally I haven't had, or my company has not been had any experiences in any cases of child labor or we haven't had to face any issues as such. On the other hand, I know that my clients are taking the corporate social responsibility initiatives very serious. They are taking actions towards improving their environmental footprint, particularly in some of the industries that we operate, such as chemicals and the automotive. There's some good evidence of where they've taken actions to improve their environmental image to the clients and also to the community as a whole. So they're doing some steps. There's still quite a lot of development to be done. However, what I do see is that there's an appetite to learn and to kind of show them, identify to them where are the areas and where are the gaps that they have to address. Because a lot of the times there is also kind of ignorance on the issue. So we first have to do the awareness and education, then show them the gaps, and then trying to plan how to close those gaps.
Okay. And how have you found this event here? Has it reached your expectations?
Yeah, this event has been very good for networking, for getting a kind of a up-to-date view of what's procurement and supply chain in China, and see some of the challenges that other companies are facing, whether within the consulting industry or within the operating side. So yeah, it's been very good, very beneficial.
Okay. All right. Thanks. Anything else you'd like to add?
There were a couple of questions about the
Cost increases?
No. After many products.
So have you found recent cost increases in China? Has that affected the way you or your clients have done business in China? Are you having to adapt to that?
Yeah, we have found that the cost increases have actually started to become a concern to our clients. We haven't seen any particular actions taken because of those, but for sure they have come up in the agenda in terms of how they plan their sourcing strategy in the future, and how the next 5-year plans in terms of procurement and sourcing should look like, and what that's going to be the effect on their plans. I think the increase in labor costs is something that we advise our clients to take it very seriously. China has increasing labor costs, particularly in the coastal areas and in the largely economically developed areas. And at times we don't hesitate to kind of maybe provide them with alternative countries where they could source from that could provide more competitive labor kind of cost basis. So yeah, it is an issue increasingly, and there should be we do help our clients kind of manage that issue and mitigate the risk.
Just back to the HR issue, what advice would you give companies to retain their good personnel?
Sure. I think companies have to take seriously the softer side of the people that they're working for them. So it's important to provide training, development on the technical skills, but it's also very important to take care of the softer skills and really kind of ask the question to the people, what's in it for you? So what's in it for your team? What's in it for your organization? What's in it for your employees? And each individual has different requirements, and indeed we cannot address everyone's requirements, but by being a little bit more empathetic and more sympathetic on how people see their future, how people see their development, what actually people like doing is important. One question I ask my people in my team once they've joined the company and occasionally before during an interview is what excites them in their job? What was it that they would like to do that would make them really excited? And I try to tell them that I'll try and help you to do that really excites you. I'll address it as much as I can, because that's one way of making sure that people start loving what they do. And if you start loving your job, ultimately you never have to work again, because you do what you love and you do what you like. So sometimes that's easier, sometimes of course a little bit more difficult. But ultimately I think it's important to address that point and look into people a little bit closer. And that starts from lower level in the organization with supervisors looking after the performance, their appraisees, managers, senior managers. But even at the C level, there's still a lot that can be done in that area.